Cool. All right. What the fuck are you doing?
Because like, can you do that thing of like this? Can you do that?
That?
Yeah, I can only do it on one side. I can't do it on both sides.
I can only like raise this eyebrow alone. It's either 1 or 2. I mean, kinda. If I concentrate really hard. It's hilarious that we're already recording because this is totally gonna be bloopers or something, probably.
That's funny.
It'd be really funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would.
Anyway. Set a marker for this when we actually started. 2 minutes in. I'm not the one that says hello, so I don't know what you're waiting for here.
I don't know. For you to tell me that it's a go.
Okay, it is a go.
It's a go.
It's a go.
Hi. See?
Okay, go. I'll shut up.
All right. Thank God. Hi. What is it?
Your name?
I'm the pine. What do I say? I'm the pine?
Yeah. You say you're the pine.
Yes.
And I say I am the water. And you are listening to a cup of tea.
To a cup of tea. A podcast of... Yes, never mind. Okay, again. Hi, I'm the pine.
And I'm the water. And you're listening to a cup of tea.
A podcast about exploring life through each other's eyes.
Well, sharing a cup of tea with you, your chair moving is getting me distracted.
Like this?
Yeah, stop fidgeting. So I already told you that I'm drinking stale green tea, and it's really it's very like the third. No, it's not the third. It's the second brew of this batch of green mint tea, and it doesn't taste like anything.
I would think.
I mean, kind of like
I'm drinking matcha,
water.
so
goes along with your t-shirt.
Sounds like toothpaste water.
I won't say that it is, because then that'll be gross and I'll stop drinking it, and I don't have anything else to drink right now. So I'll just suck it up.
Fine. Yes, you will. Well, I'm drinking matcha, which I thought I wanted hot, but it stopped being hot, and I was going to heat it up on my plate thingy that you gave me.
Hot matcha.
But then I was like, you know what? It's kind of nice.
That's so weird.
It's kind of nice. Just.
I feel like...
What do you mean it's weird?
I don't know. Like, in my mind, matcha is always cold. You know?
I mean...
So...
I most times drink it hot at home. Because at Starbucks and places, I always get it cold.
See? That's what I mean. And also... Oh, I feel like...
And I'm dripping it everywhere, by the way.
Nice. Great. Your white carpet's gonna appreciate that.
Yes.
I got sidetracked, and I was gonna say, I was just telling you that I did this weird. I didn't do it on purpose, but yesterday I was at the supermarket with my dad buying a couple of things, and I desperately needed.
Oh, is this the story that you were gonna tell me?
Yeah, which is very short. It's just a dumb thing that I did because I didn't fucking read. So I was in the supermarket buying deodorant because I didn't pack any because I'm an idiot and I totally forgot about it. And so then I was like looking for it, and there were, I don't know, I haven't bought it at the supermarket in such a long time. I always like bulk buy it in Costco. So I just like pick it up and don't even have to think about it. But here I had to look at the 1,000 options that they had. And I was like, why are there so many? This is horrible. And then so I picked one up.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, okay, this looks fine. This looks perfect. And it was in the women's section of stuff. But it turns out I bought a man's deodorant. Yes. And it smells so weird. Like, it doesn't smell bad, but it smells so weird. Like a guy, you know? Like, I smell like a guy, and I feel so strange.
Is it a bar?
Yeah, it's a bar.
Or is it a roll-on?
No, it's like a bar. Yeah. And I opened it, and I was like, this is weird. Because it's like a speed stick thing. And I like now that I read it, I was like, oh shit, it should say lady speed stick, not just speed stick. And I was like, I opened it and I said, this is kind of like big. Like women's deodorants are like smaller, more rounded. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I opened it, I smelled it, and I was like, oh shit. Too late.
I mean, I remember in middle school, a teacher telling us to wear men's deodorant.
Why?
Because it worked better, because it's for guys who are super smelly, so then for a girl it'd be like, oh, works way better than a girl's.
Interesting. But it's so weird. Like it the thing is, it didn't like mess with my brain, but it sort of fed into this thing that I've been thinking for about a week now, because I was listening to one of the most recent Huberman episodes, and he talks about smell and the research that is being done on that, and how we are actually better at smelling things than people generally think. And that whole thing of dogs having, I don't know how many more million cells in their nose than humans is a lie. It's something that somebody made up, and it just continued to be propagated via textbooks and stuff, but it's not actually true or something.
That's funny.
And there was this thing that they said that even though it's not a conscious thing, we're constantly sniffing places and people and like stuff. And then I was like, oh wow, this is so weird. And they were saying that you can totally smell yourself, and I was like, yeah, obviously, but you get used to it, so you don't notice it anymore. Like if you wear a perfume, then you don't really notice that you're wearing it until you change it or something. So this right now, I'm like, I smell so weird. I'm like, what is this? What's happening? So yeah, fun experience. I should have read. That's the lesson I learned. Yeah. Should have read the label.
I mean, I'm curious to see if you feel any difference.
I mean, this is the first time I've put it on, so
right.
I don't know right now.
Well, wear it for a couple of weeks and then report back, please. Sure. I'm just curious.
It's good. I guess I'll get used to it. I wonder if there's like a noticeable difference that somebody will like smell me and be like, "Oh, you smell different." That's something that I'm curious
They'll be like,
about.
"Oh, you smell like a guy."
I don't think so, because I do still have perfume on.
You don't think someone will notice that you smell like a guy, or that they would say it, or what?
I don't know that they would. Like, I guess it could be we could do a test. It'd be funny. Like, how to not bias somebody? Just be like, how do you think this person smells? Like, what do they smell like to you? And then if people say, oh, it smells like, I don't know, like a guy, then it's like evident that you smell like, or that I smell like a guy. But if it's more of like, oh, I don't know, like wood and whatever other more male scents are. Thingies. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder.
I do wonder. I'm intrigued now. Because, like, for me, I've noticed that I think I said something along the lines of this at some point when I was telling you, when I was in Quebec, and I was telling you that my nephew has, like, the nose of a hound dog. And I can't smell shit.
Yeah.
But also, it's allowed me, like, I feel, and I might be incorrect in this, but I feel that I appreciate weird smells more than regular people. Because let's say that my smell, like my capacity for smell is lower. So then I feel like a regular person would smell something funky and immediately be like, ew. But because I don't smell it as much, I'm like, huh.
Okay, so anyway, after rambling for, I don't know, I feel like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something, we can get to what we're talking about today. Which for a second I forgot what it was. Then I was like,
do you remember now?
Yeah, it's our weekends. Because you had a fun weekend. Sure. And
I did.
I also had a nice weekend. So you can tell me about yours first because I don't know anything except for the fact that you did something with Pablo about a lake.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of know. Just because I teased it a little bit, I didn't know that we were gonna save it for a cup of tea. But then you were like, "We could save it for a cup of tea," and I was like, "Okay, we'll save it for a cup of tea."
Updates from far away. Mm-hmm. Carry on.
Exactly. So, we had been, well, Pablo had been telling me that there was gonna be this hike with his friends.
Oh yeah, the hike.
And like every weekend, it's like, oh yeah, the hike.
It kept getting postponed.
And the next weekend is like the hike. It doesn't happen. And like the original hike, you were gonna come, so that's how far.
Yeah.
Back the hike was happening. You were still here.
Yeah.
So the hike wasn't happening, and I actually thought that I was gonna work on Sunday because a girl had asked me to like cover her shift. Mm-hmm. So I told Pablo, like if you guys go or something, like I can't go, but that's okay, like have fun and stuff. But then the girl from work canceled, so I told Pablo, hey, I'm free. But apparently the hike wasn't gonna happen anyway because they're working on their final project for video game design, and they're having a lot of fun, but they're so busy, and it's so hectic. But they could use the hike, and I think at some point eventually the hike will happen, but who knows when.
Next year.
But I did tell Pablo that I had like really been feeling going outside and doing something outdoorsy, especially because I don't think we've done anything outdoorsy since like before winter, except for Whistler when we went to visit his cousin.
Yeah.
And then there was the visit from the other cousin, the brother of the first cousin, where we kind of like toured Vancouver a little bit and went to the aquarium and went to Capilano Bridge, which was the more outdoorsy thing, I guess, that we did. But other than that, when we just got to Vancouver, we went to Duck Mountain, and that was like our first hike, and it was really cute. And other than that, I don't think we've really done any outdoorsy stuff. And also, I had been for like the whole week. You remember that I was having feelings.
Yes.
About life, as I do, and you gave me this really great, I don't know, exercise about writing my eulogy.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a new episode coming. Well, by the time this is out,
the previous episode
of Intimacy.
Oh, no, I thought you meant the previous episode.
No. There's a new episode of Intimacy where I talk about the eulogy thing because it like really helped me.
Nice.
And yeah. So you can listen to it on Friday.
I see. That's what you were doing yesterday when you were like, "Oh, fine, I won't work at a cup of tea. I'll work at Intimacy then."
Yes. I had other stuff that I could do while you were sending me files. I know the interesting works of how to manage doing our job.
Yeah.
From afar. But anyway, so I had been thinking a lot about the eulogy thing, and I had a lot of thoughts and stuff. And like one of the thoughts was about how like what I want my life to be like, and part of it was that I want to get to know like the city that I live in, whether it's here in Vancouver or if I move or if I go back to Mexico at some point, like wherever I live, treat the city that I live in as a forever tourist, an evergreen tourist.
Yeah.
So, and just, summers here, I mean, not technically, but practically.
Yeah.
And it was getting really, really warm. And this was going to be like the first weekend that it was really, really warm. So Paolo was like, oh, I really want to go swimming. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds really cool. Let's find, because I don't feel like going to a pool. I think public pools here are a thing.
Yeah.
And like I remember, for example, where we lived in Querétaro,
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico, we would go to the pool. Like I had a pool where I lived,
Mm-hmm.
and we also had the club
Yeah.
that you and I would go to.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we have like public pools like
No.
here.
I mean,
They're not a
the
thing.
only sort of similar thing is like there's a park like the Querétaro 2000, you know? Where there
Mm-hmm.
is it's a park, it's a massive park where there's a gym and there's a training facility
Right.
sort of thing, and there's a public pool there which you have to register for, and then you can go swimming, but it's more like for actually exercising swimming,
Yeah, yeah,
not so
yeah.
much recreational
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And there's also another one at the like local hospital that has a soccer field and also a gym and that kind of thing too. But those are the only two that I know
What?
of. Yeah, the
What
IMSS,
hospital?
the Cinco de Febrero IMSS. Yeah,
What? It has a pool?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Um, but so yeah. Uh I it was more about, adventure and
Mm-hmm.
nature and
Yeah.
we're in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're looking at some stuff, some lakes, and there's a lot of like I guess I kind of knew that there were a lot of lakes in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time I kind of didn't register the whole of like going to swim
Yeah.
in the lakes
I know.
because in my
It's a
head
very
it's
weird
more
concept. Uh-huh.
I don't know, I guess when I think of it it's more like going to sightseeing
Mm-hmm.
or even maybe like paddleboarding or stuff, but not quite swimming.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, but if I think then of Mexico and cenotes and the Sierra Gorda and all of that stuff, then I'm like, oh yeah, of course, you go swimming in those.
Yeah.
So we looked at a bunch of them, um, and there are some that are like 30 minutes from downtown, 40 minutes from downtown, which is really close.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I don't know if I told you or if I was telling Pablo that, when we're in Querétaro,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you have to drive to
Yeah.
La Sierra
Yeah.
to go to nature
And it's like those
adventures.
zigzaggy two-way one-lane
Oh
highways,
yeah,
which are
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. I think they're fun though.
I mean, they are, but the road is freaking horrible. Like
Yeah,
it's full of
yeah.
potholes and yeah,
But it's all part
quite
of the
the
adventure,
adventure. Yeah.
Exactly. So we ended up choosing one, and we thought. So we had two that weren't too far away, because then there's some other ones that were like an hour away, 2 hours away, more around Whistler and things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we figured we would leave those for later
Mm-hmm.
and just go somewhere close. So by Coquitlam, there was Sasamat Lake and Bunsen Lake. That's what it is.
Okay.
And they're like really close to each other.
Uh-huh.
And Sasamat Lake, it said that it was on the warmer side of things
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when it came to the water. And I was like, if there's any chance of me swimming, we need to go to the warmer-ish place,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Because I don't know how aware of this you are, but I am such a scaredy cat when it comes to cold water. It's not my thing.
I know.
Okay,
Believe me.
good.
I know.
You do. I don't remember this because, like, for example, the bicha, my niece, the muchacha, when there's these um, freshwater beach in
Oh yeah.
Quebec, very close to where we lived, and poor kid, like she was just swimming in there, and she was like, "Come with me," and I was like, "No," and I would just stay. Like I would go in,
Mhm.
but like waist down.
Mm.
After that, it's like, no, this isn't happening. This is all you get from me. And she just wanted to have fun and swim and do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
you were
uh-uh.
boring.
And it takes me like an hour to get to the waist, and then it would take me another hour to go further. So, and Pablo also knows this.
Yeah.
From like trying to go swimming in like really cold pools and stuff, and I'm like, don't even
The last
and he thinks
event
what?
of those was when we had that like mix of housewarming and going away party, I think, or I don't know if it was that. No, yeah,
At my house?
yeah, because it was like housewarming slash going away slash your birthday or something.
Yeah.
And the pool was not that cold.
I remember that.
It was not that cold. And you would not fucking get in. Everybody was in except for you.
I remember that. Yeah, and it's that thing where like Pablo thinks that it would be cute to like throw me in the pool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't you even dare. It will not be cute. He has learned that that's not a thing with me. So he's very patient now. And so anyway, I said, let's go to the warmer side of things. So we get there, and to be fair, we had a meeting with our landlord at like noon. So we were going to the lake pretty late in the day. We should have gone like at 8 or 9 in the morning, but we didn't. So we like saw our landlord, and that took like 5 minutes. And then we went to the grocery store to get sunblock and like fruit or something, because I was like, oh, let's pack a picnic, and we had like sandwiches and stuff, but we went to get some fruit. So it was like 2 o'clock or something when we went to the thing, and we get there, and of course by the time we're 10 minutes away, it's 10 minutes away that it's like all traffic and not moving. And we realized that the parking lot was full and they weren't letting anyone in. So beware, people, because we, of course, didn't think about that. We should have.
Yeah.
So we went there and it was full and people were parking on the highway. But like there was a sign that said that if the parking lot was full, you could park there, and a bunch of people were parked there. So we were like, okay, maybe it would be okay if we park here. But I was like, the other park, the other lake, which is like super big, way bigger than Sesamet. So Winston Lake is bigger than Sesamet Lake. I was like, it's 10 minutes away in the car, and maybe they'll have space. So we went there, and it was closed. And they said something really funny, because we're like, oh, let's just park somewhere around here. And I asked the lady, oh, where can we park around here? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, is that what? And then she's like, well, we have to wait until everybody leaves, and then we're going to open up again in a couple hours, and then the parking lot will be empty and you can come back.
What?
And I was like, what? That was very weird for me too. I don't understand how it works. Is there a schedule? Because I understand that there's gates and they open like at 9 in the morning or something, or 7, who knows, and then they close at 9 at night.
Yeah.
I know that, but I didn't quite understand her whole thing of like, we're going to close, like it's closed right now and we're waiting for people to leave so that the parking lot is empty, and then we'll open up again.
To like ration people
in the middle of the day
or something?
I guess.
That is so weird.
But like, so the people inside, do they know that they have to leave at 2 or 3?
I don't know.
Or it's a natural thing that the early birds leave around that time because they've already spent a few hours in. Like, I'm confused. But anyway, she was like, well, it's going to be an hour and a half before you guys can come in. So we're like, okay. And we were trying to figure out what to do, if to have lunch and then go back to Bunsen. But we kind of just had breakfast. So we're like, I don't know. We decided to go back to Sasaman and park on the highway with the other people. And that's what we did. We parked, we walked. And it was really cute because it gave me flashbacks to when Pablo and I went to Tolantongo, which are some hot springs. I think they're part of Hidalgo. Am I wrong? Are they part of Hidalgo? I don't think that they're part of Querétaro.
No.
They're somewhere in there. They're really cool. And it was just that kind of feeling of like when you're going to even a balneario, so like a water park, and you have like all of your stuff and the towels and food and like a bag with food, and you're walking towards the thing.
Yeah.
And it was cute, it like not only it brought me back, it gave me flashbacks to Tolantongo and like doing something similar, like outdoorsy, swimming, kind of nature thing, but also to when you're little and you go to a water park with your family and it's all of that stuff. Uh, and so we got there, we found a spot. There were so many people, so many people. Because of course, again, the first weekend that it's super hot, everybody's like, yes, let's go to the lake.
Yeah.
But we found a spot and we're getting into the water, and of course, it's freaking cold.
I mean, I was gonna say, like when you said the warmer thing, I was like, I mean, yeah, but it's Canada warmer.
I know it was going to be cold. I know, but I was like, I might as well go with a warmer one than the cold one. Because I remember when I went to Banff with my family, and me and the beach had just jumped into the glacier water. And it was really cold, but it was so much fun because we just kind of like jumped in. It was this whole thing.
Yeah.
But here, we were like little by little going in to the, but Paolo was like, fuck it. And they just like went in. Which is what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
I know
that.
I'm aware. I understand the procedure. But I take my time. And it was really cute because there was like
that's fine.
A family of
self-inflicted pain. That's okay.
I know it is. It's okay. But there was a family of geese, and it was super cute because you could see like the two parents and the tiny little ducklings, and it was very adorable. But there was this thing. I will complain about one thing. There was this kid. And he wasn't a little kid. He was 13-ish. And he was just like going after them and like splashing water on them and trying to touch them. And it was very annoying. And Paula and I would just like look at him and be like, what is up with you, kid? Like, leave them alone. You can enjoy, it's nice if the animals and ourselves can just like hang out together and not be a problem for each other. But also, where are these kids' parents who don't care? Who either are not looking at him and what he's doing, or are looking at him and they don't care what he's doing. I don't know which one's worse. But it was very annoying, and he kept doing it the whole time that we were there. And like, I even looked at him, at the kid. There was a moment where like he looked at me, I like looked at him, and I like looked at him in a mean way to try to tell him that was not okay. It didn't work because he kept doing it.
I mean, if that's your mean look, then I'm not surprised. He was just like, what the fuck are you looking at, lady?
No, I think he understood that it was upsetting, but I don't know, again, what the social
etiquette
policy can be for something like this. Like, I don't think I would be the asshole if I tell this kid, but then again, what if someone else is like, who are you to be telling this kid whatever? Or what if the parents are like, hey, don't tell anything to my kid? And I'm like, well, tell your freaking kid to not mess with the animals.
How old was that kid?
Like 13.
Oh no, then
he
he's
wasn't
just
a little
an asshole.
5-year-old.
I think that is the part of. I guess, yeah, I don't know how the parents would take it, but I feel like that's the kind of thing where it's socially acceptable to tell a child to not be stupid, because in that whole spirit of it takes a village, strangers also are a part of the village, I guess, and maybe the kid will be put off by what you're saying, but sometimes you just have to tell people.
I guess. I don't know. Like, I was also waiting for anyone to tell something to the kid, but no one was. And I was just like, I don't know what to do in this situation. And Pablo was just like, not a kid, not a problem. I'm like, but the animals.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine, whatever. And I was just like, whenever the family of geese were like going away, I was like, yes, please, just go away. Just don't engage with this kid. Uh, it was very upsetting. That was the only really upsetting part of our trip. Other than that, there were a lot of like, I won't say Mexicans, but in Spanish speaking people, because I don't know if they're Mexican. Um, and I was like, this feels just like Mexico. It was really funny. But it was cute to see everyone like with their tents and their things, and like there were a lot of picnic tables and people there, families,
Yeah.
and people with like their lunches and food and preparing stuff. I don't know. It was cute. I feel like I hadn't been around something like that in a long time. So it was just nice. And we're just at the water, and people had their paddle boards, and it really made me want to have a paddle board.
Did it feed into your
I see it
dream?
in my future. Yeah. I see a paddle board in my future, because I even told Pablo, like you could be swimming in the cold water and I could go with you in my paddleboard. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So at some point, it's already been an hour in the water, and I'm like wasted.
You're wasted?
And Pablo keeps waist in.
Oh.
No.
Like,
My goodness.
wild.
I know. And then and like Pablo, like we kept hugging, and he kept like taking tiny steps into the water. I was like, I know what you're doing. Stop it. And then at some point he was like, oh, there's people swimming like way in the lake. I want to go there. I was like,
Be
go.
my
You
guest.
have my blessing. And he was like, really? Like, it's okay? Like, you're okay? I'm like, yeah. Go, 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 go. So he goes and he swims. He's in the middle of the lake, and it's really cute. And I'm chilling and whatever. I'm like, oh, I would really like to go there with him. So then I dive in and I swim towards him. And he looks fine, he sees me, and he's so happy that I'm in the water. I'm like, yes, whatever. I'm doing it. And it was really cute. And we swam, and it was nice. And it's that thing that I know that once you dive in and it's all in your all like the temperature and whatever, and it happens and it fixes itself. And it was cold, but it was very bearable. I know it. But anyway. And yeah. And then we went back, and we were hungry by then, and we had food. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, next to us, there was someone that I'm pretty sure someone in the group was Mexican, because they were putting music. And someone asked the guy, or like, oh, what's another like Mexican popular song? So I was like, I see my people. And they put Fuentes de Ortiz.
Oh, that's cute.
That was really cute. It's this song that we really like.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ed Maverick.
What? Ed Maverick, by Ed Maverick.
Yeah.
And that was really cute, and like caloncho and stuff. And after that, they put reggaeton. So,
of course.
but not even like cool reggaeton, like old school reggaeton, like some new stuff. Whatever. Not my thing.
Yeah.
I like old reggaeton. And like Pablo was falling asleep under the sun. And I was like, no, don't fall asleep under the sun. You'll die. But actually, I was, what?
Carry on, and maybe I'll say the same thing that you're going to say, but carry on.
Okay. I was very surprised by our sunblock.
Yeah?
Because we were, like, I could feel that it was really hot. Because even, my mom always says this thing of like, if you're going to go out on the sun, like, don't go in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Like at noon to 3, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we didn't. But we didn't get sunburned at all. And I was very appreciative of actually being under the sun and getting some sun, because the vitamins and whatever, and Canada and depression and stuff. So I was like, it's nice. I have my sunblock, and we're gonna bask in the sun, and we even like praised the sun, and it was cute.
Nice.
What was the thing that you were gonna say?
That I also learned like in Sweden, because that was the first time that I also went swimming in a lake, and I was like, what the fuck? We're doing this? Which there is like, it's the second largest lake in Sweden, so it looks more like a beach, like a regular beach. I think I've shown you photos of that.
Maybe
we can put a photo here to show the people. So at like around May, some of my friends were saying, "Oh, we should go to the beach because now it's hot and you can go swimming and all of that." And that's where I actually the first time I tanned was there. Because normally I just burn and turn into a tomato. But here, because my friends, like the Dutchies had this technique of sunbathing, then going into the water, coming back to dry out on the sun. Because, again, the water was very cold. So you could sort of temper yourself between sun and water. And we had like, I don't know, 40 or 50 SPF. And that...
we had 50.
That had like, you can put it on, but also there's like an actual thing that makes a huge difference, which is that Mexico is near the equator, like it's lower, right? And here here because I'm here, right? And I was just telling this to my dad the other day. The sun hits the earth in a more oh my god, what's the word? Like
aggressive way.
Yeah, like it's very not parallel. What's the fucking word? Stupid math classes that I don't remember.
Perpendicular.
Yes, perpendicular. Here, so that also makes it stronger. And you can actually see it. Like, sometimes I look at my watch and the UV index the other day was like 13 or 12 or something. Whatever the highest number is, that's what it was. And over there, I've noticed that the highest it gets is like 6. 5. So that's a huge difference, because even if you're saying that you're out sunbathing at 2 p.m., which is technically the worst time to be doing it, then it's not as bad as here. And we're used to having it different. So, yeah, it's massive.
Nice.
Which is why, you don't get sunburned like we do here. You could get tanned because it's gentler. Not to say that you should, like, go out into the sun and give 0 fucks. No. Put on sunscreen, people. But, it's, like, nicer. Which is why it's also funny, I think, when people come here to Mexico to vacation and they all look like tomatoes on day 1, because I don't think they gauge the difference in sun intensity.
How bad it is.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
So, yeah. It's a nice thing. I appreciate that sun thing of having rays be more, like, I don't know, not so perpendicular, more like, I don't know, inclined or something when they come into the planet. So, yeah.
Nice.
Which is an interesting also optical thing to notice in general, I feel like. Yeah.
I like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, with the whole like eulogy thing and going into nature and all of that stuff that I was saying, I was like, because I've been because of the eulogy conversation and thoughts and feelings and all of it. I've been trying to really ask myself, because there's this idea of what you or I or whomever would think that the ideal life is, right? And to me, like, it has a lot of like, ooh, nature stuff and traveling stuff and creative stuff and friends and family and whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been trying these past few days to really ask myself if those are things that I think that I want, or if I'm basing it on actual experience of like, oh, I really enjoy this. I want more of this in my life. And not just because I think that it's a cool thing. So when we were doing the lake thing and everything, I was asking myself, constantly trying to assess the situation and be like, okay, so is this something that I'm truly enjoying because I actually enjoy it, or is this just something that I tell myself that I want to do? And I really liked it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. That was I was right on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And but I also thought, like, maybe I don't know that I would want to be doing this every week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe I could try it for like consecutive weeks and be like, oh, it is cool to do it every week. Um, but so, like right now, I'm like, if I did it once a month, that would be amazing. I would be very content
Mm-hmm.
because there were times where I was like, it actually made me realize how much I also truly enjoy just being at home, watching movies or playing video games with Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of, because sometimes Pablo kind of like is harsh on himself when it comes to like, oh, I just spent the day watching movies and playing games,
Mm-hmm.
and he feels bad about it. So I feel like this being aware and questioning myself about what my experience was being like
Mm-hmm.
really made me realize or be aware that I actually do really enjoy being at home watching movies.
Mm.
Like, it's not just a default thing. It's not just that, oh, I guess I have nothing to do. I guess this is what I'll do. Or like, or to think that I'm wasting my day if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the contrast of going outside and doing this thing and being like, oh, this is cool, but I don't know that I want to be doing it too much. It also made me think like, if I was at home watching a movie or playing games or like reading or whatever, I would also be really happy about that. So it kind
Mm.
of just made me conscious of how that is as valid as going outside. To
Yeah.
because
Like to
sometimes there's
balance
this
it.
thing of like, yeah, not just to balance it, but I see this kind of around or like in my context of how we might pressure ourselves or shame ourselves
Uh-huh.
for just being inside,
Yeah.
or for just binge watching a show or series.
Mm-hmm. So
Do
yeah,
you know
for
what I
like
mean?
being a couch potato. So you feel bad
Yeah,
that
kind of.
you, yeah, it's like there's so many things that you could be doing and you're just staying
Yeah.
home doing nothing.
Yeah.
Which
Nothing. Exactly.
which is also something that I've been also thinking about a lot because the other day my dad was saying something like, "Oh, do you want to go shopping?" And this is the second week that I've been here. And the
Mm.
first one went by super quickly, and on Thursday, no, on Saturday, I
Mhm.
felt like that was the first thing that I had absolutely nothing planned, and I could do whatever I wanted, which included just two things: getting my nails done, which are so
Oh,
pretty.
I
Um,
know. I miss that.
yeah, and visiting my grandma. And she
Mm.
was like, "When did you get here?" And I was like, "A week ago." But I couldn't come here to see you because I had so many things to do. And on this sort of thing of so many things to do, my dad and my grandma, my other grandma, kept saying, "Oh, we should do this. We should do that. Do you want to do this? Do you want to go here? Do you want to do this other thing?" And I was like, "No, I want to do nothing for one day.
Nothing.
Please, I want to just sit and watch a movie or play video games. I don't want to do anything." So yeah, I get it. Like sometimes sometimes it's like you need to just not do anything or do something very
Right.
low effort like watching a movie or playing video games. And other times
Mhm.
it's just yeah, appreciating that you enjoy it. Because also for a very
Yeah.
long time I had, like that thing that we said in the night owl early bird episode that we never released.
That we didn't release, yes.
Of learning to appreciate that even though like the social discourse is that the good thing is to be an early bird and like el que madruga Dios le ayuda. What's the thing for that in English?
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm. Kinda?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But it's okay to also have the opposite end of that, where it's okay if your day starts at 11 in the morning and ends at 4 a.m., you know, like that kind of thing.
That sounds insane, but I know that that's your thing.
I mean, not so much anymore, I'll say. I have changed it a little bit. But anyway, so on playing video games, and I think it's especially because of how when we were kids, our parents would be like, don't be playing video games all day.
Staying the video game.
You're going to fry your brain. That's not useful at all. And now it's like, no, you know what? You can have a career playing video games. It helps you develop abilities or whatever, right? Yeah. So then in high school, because I used to play The Sims all the time,
yes.
Then there was a point where I was like, oh, I'm just playing and I'm not doing anything else and I'm not being productive and I'm just wasting my time. But I was like, no, it's fine. I'm not wasting my time. I'm having fun. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was just very refreshing to genuinely tell myself, like genuinely notice that like how much I enjoy, how much I'm a homebody. Like I really am a homebody. And having sprinkles of outdoorsy nature stuff is like just perfect.
That's nice. So I don't know. I mean, it's also kind of, and it with the whole eulogy obituary thing. That's also something that I was thinking about, of getting back to activities that I liked or starting doing stuff that I like. Because the other day when we were moving my stuff and we then went to have dinner at Deep Cove and all that, there was the kayaking place. Yes. And we said we needed to do that, like research what we needed to get started on that. Which, I mean, it's a whole because I'm not there, right? But like follow through with those things that, okay, I mean, maybe we'll do it once and we'll really hate it and we won't want to do it again. But it's about actually doing it and not getting carried away by life, just like literally going with the flow and letting life take you with it without actually doing what you want to be doing, you know? Because we're so into I have to work, and not necessarily hustle, but it's just the everyday routine that you're such, like, we're an autopilot, so it actually takes a conscious effort to break out of that and be like, okay, no, this weekend I'm gonna actually go hiking, or I'm gonna actually look into kayaking, or I'll start, like, I don't know, start learning Chinese again, or start doing this other thing again. You know, like, yeah. So on the outdoorsy thing, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. And the one cool thing that I did before leaving was that I went to have fika with my friend Ida. And then when we were heading back, she took me through this trail that is behind where I live now. And it's so cute. And I'm like, oh, it's right there. It's right freaking there. I could do it at any time. But then again, it's like that thing of I can do it at any time, right? So I'll just do it whenever I want. Don't need to but do it it's now. A trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Yes, it is.
Indeed. I say that we make this a 2-part. And you continue the second part of this on the next episode. Which we'll record now. We'll just continue talking, but that for you, listener, then we're just gonna stop it here. Do you have any rec for the first part of this episode?
I did. I was like, oh, that's gonna be my rec, and just now I lost it. It had something to do with a thing that you said.
Wait. We said that the next episode we filmed was going to be the one about the show that I wrecked last time, which was Latin American history for morons.
We did say that. I haven't watched that. I'll write it down since this is
my goodness. Here. Well, anyway, we just realized that we didn't do that, which we said that we would, but we'll eventually do it. She has to watch the show first.
I do. We also had another idea for today's episode, which I totally forgot about, and it came back to me now too. I mean, a little.
It might come up on the second part. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Well, I'm writing it down. So it's the history.
Good. Latin American history for morons.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's amazing. Go watch it. I will wreck for right now, since this was my weekend story. I might have said this at some other point in some other cup of tea, but it's never a bad advice, I think. But be an evergreen tourist in your city. Go somewhere you haven't been. If you're not the outdoorsy type, then go to a library, go to a museum, go to, I don't know, Google the touristiest things to do in your city and do a few of them. If you are outdoorsy, then go to a lake and swim in the lake because it's really hot right now.
Yeah, that's cute.
Do you remember yours?
No, I don't. So that'll be all.
Right,
we'll only have your rec for this
We'll
episode.
See you on the next. It's okay because a bunch of episodes is just your recs because I never have recs because I am a goldfish.
Yeah.
And we'll
see you for part 2.
On part 2. Okay, bye.
Thanks for sharing a cup of tea with us.
To watch more episodes of A Cup of Tea, click the link on the right. If you want to watch Pockets in the Universe, go to the playlist on the left.